One of the things that I share with my clients is this math computation, where if you look at a full-time attorney and you say, just make an assumption that they have 1,500 billable hours and you're billing them at, $250 an hour, which clearly that's too little time, too little amount for the hours. And I know I'm talking to somebody who's personal injury and you don't deal in hours, but it's something that people can wrap their heads around. Well, a full-time attorney can easily be responsible for a $600,000 revenue stream. And it's probably more than that. You have 11 attorneys, they're probably each responsible for $1 million plus in revenue, right? So when you start looking at your role as the business owner and you start looking at the potential revenue that a full-time attorney can bring, you can start to see how much you're holding your firm back. Because if you're not putting all that time into the legal work, all that other time that's being spent on other things is time that cannot be provided as legal services. And the more that you decouple those roles, the more likely you are to hire an attorney. And then you need to fill that attorney's plate. And now all of a sudden you're motivated to have that $600,000 revenue stream. So it's almost like that thing that's holding you back is the resistance around hiring an attorney onto your staff. And one of the things, and I recently created a new framework to help encapsulate what I teach. And I broke it down in the main components into plan, grow, scale. And one of the differentiators that I think is important for a business owner to understand is the difference between growing and scaling. And I'm a dad of 6, so I like to use the analogy of kids. What's the difference between growing and scaling? Well, when you have one child, you're putting all your efforts into raising that one child. You want to help that child grow to adulthood. That's growing. When you want to have a bigger family, you add more children to the mix. That's scaling. And it's in the business, it's the same way. If you are putting your efforts into maximizing the potential of what you have today, which might just be you, then you're growing until you've maxed that out. Then the growth is limited. That's the most that you can do, that you can't grow beyond yourself. But as soon as you start scaling, that is when you're adding more attorneys to the mix, more paralegals to the mix. And now you have the ability to grow even further because now you have a new set of children to raise to adulthood. And, that's really your motivation should always be, how do I maximize my growth so I can step into the next version of scaling for my firm?